Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have this car chase glitch. This video was caught on a police dash cam and shows something pretty unexplainable. The police officer is on a car chase with the perpetrator. The criminal is doing his best to evade the police and continually fakes pulling over to then quickly turn around. He's going pretty crazy, swerving all over the road, which is both confusing and strange. But this is when things really take a weird turn. He takes a turn towards a fence, and this is when something that I can't understand happens. It would appear as though this man somehow drove through a fence that was left with no holes, and then just basically disappeared into the night. I honestly can't figure out what happened here, but this guy must have been extremely lucky, or something more sinister was going on. In our number 9 spot today, we have this bird glitch. This glitch comes from a Reddit user called AmorXP00 from a time they captured some birds behaving very strangely. I'll just let you take a look at it first, and then we can discuss. When I first watched this, I 100% thought it was photoshopped. I truly could not believe what I was seeing because there is just no way. From the coordination of the flying all the way to the ripples of color changes, I thought this was just made up or truly a huge glitch in the Matrix. As it turns out, there's actually an explanation for this. This is called a murmur and is basically a defensive posture that birds take. It truly is one of the coolest things I have ever seen, and there are more videos of it that you can look up because it is fascinating. I feel like I would be the one bird who just didn't get the new choreo memo because this looks intricate. In our number 8 spot today, we have people frozen in time. In September of 2019, a Buffalo, New York resident caught this extremely eerie and uncomfortable glitch in the Matrix. A woman was driving past a park when she needed to take out her camera and record what was going on because it truly is so bizarre. A bunch of people in a park were completely frozen still. And it wasn't like one group of people in the park who were just trying to do something. It was every single person that was there. Maybe there was some kind of weird piece of performance art that involved a lot of people or something, because that is the only explanation that I can think of. Do you see what I mean by this just being the creepiest thing? I just can't shake the bad feeling that this video gives me. In our number 7 spot today, we have this manhole cover glitch.
On Earth is this one bouncing around so madly, so freely, as if it's as light as a feather.
I'm not sure if these have the same names in every country, but this video is in reference to a manhole cover. You know those really heavy metal lids that go on top of the holes that lead to the sewer? They're designed to be extremely heavy so that people can't just waltz into the sewer system whenever they feel like, which is probably a good thing, but this video would make it seem otherwise. This video is very short, but it shows one of these covers basically just bouncing up and down as if it is lightweight and there's air coming up from underneath it. It would take a lot of air to do this, considering the typical cover weighs 113 kilos or 249 pounds. It makes it seem like something is down there pushing up on it, but what could be strong enough? And also, why is anyone in there at all? And also, shouldn't someone be helping if there really is someone down there? This is all to say, I really cannot explain this one, so it truly must be a glitch in the simulation of our reality. In our number 6 spot today, we have this rain glitch. This video was taken by a man in Paris when the weather was acting unlike anything I have ever seen. It's not abnormal for rain to hit one part of a city while the other part has clear skies, but this takes that one step further. The skies are cloudy, so it's not completely abnormal to see rain, but it is just raining in one spot. One tiny spot is absolutely pouring rain, seemingly out of nowhere, but everywhere else is not raining. At first I thought that maybe someone from up above is pouring water, but the video does pan up for you to see nothing above this random rainfall. If there is a scientific explanation for this, please leave it in the comments because this one is honestly unbelievable. In our number number 5 spot today, we have this propeller glitch. This video comes from a flight to Edinburgh. A passenger began taking a video of the propeller on the side of the plane when they caught this strange glitch in the matrix. This propeller is of course moving, or at least we all hope it is, but it appears as if it isn't. This is most likely due to the speed of the propeller and the camera not being able to pick up its speed, but man, does this video make it look strange. The video has this weird effect where it looks like it's almost sped up or something. It's super strange how it appears as though the propeller is moving either up or down based on the direction he moves the phone. Definitely a cool but very strange video that you could definitely use to freak your friends out. In our number 4 spot today, we have this plane glitch. This video comes from Moscow and shows what looks like a plane completely stuck in the air. This is of course impossible, so you can understand everyone's disbelief when they first see this video. Imagine just casually driving down the road and witnessing this. I guess the only appropriate response would be to capture it on video, because how else would you explain this to anyone else? I'm going to assume that this is some sort of optical illusion, but it is just very strange to see a plane that is that close to the ground that isn't either ascending or descending. It is possible that the clear skies made it more difficult to see the movement of the plane, but whatever really happened here, it definitely is strange. In our number 3 spot today, we have this reflection glitch. This video comes from TikTok and shows a very confused driver in traffic. This man started filming a car that was slightly ahead of him in the next lane when he noticed something was really off. The man is in a convertible and his reflection can be seen in one of the side mirrors. You can see this man moving his head around in his car, which is normal because he is of course a human being, but what isn't normal is the fact that his reflection is not moving along with him. It really is one of those things you have to see to believe.
Right? And his face is moving, but look at that, his face just moved, but the guy in the mirror is seeing the same. Yo, the matrix is broken.
You guys, this one was a weird glitch, and if it wasn't a glitch, the only other explanation I have is that maybe he's a ghost. Either way, something weird is happening over there. In our number 2 spot today, we have this Tyson fight glitch. This one takes place in 1995, and it may be a glitch, but it also could be a time traveler. This video is from a Mike Tyson fight, and while Tyson is of course the star of the video, there is a person in the audience who caught everyone's attention, and for a good reason. This fight, like I said, took place in 1995, but when you peek into the audience, it appears as though someone is taking their own video with what looks like a smartphone. This gadget that they are holding doesn't look like most cameras for the time and very closely resembles our smartphone cameras, with the lens not being in the center but more off to the side. I know it was kind of difficult to see, but did you guys see that person on the left? I honestly don't know what to make of it or really how to explain this one. In our number 1 spot today, we have this dance battle glitch. This video shows some kind of dance battle, which I am absolutely here for until things get a little weird. It is a b-boy style dance-off, and one kid is wearing a red hat, which he throws into the audience. Shortly after he throws the hat, he is doing some breakdancing on the floor when the red hat literally reappears out of nowhere. This kid is not only a great dancer, but also apparently a magician, because how the heck does this even happen? I honestly watched this video probably 20 times trying to figure out how and when this could have happened, but I am absolutely stumped.
What the fuck? What? Wow, we're starting off strong with this one. Where did that come? Wow. Cool. I wish dogs would just appear in front of me like that all the time. That'd be great. I'd be so much happier. I'd be like, come on, let's go, let's do it.
Coffee, Smith?
I'm not drinking coffee.
I'm just testing. See, if you were a liar, you might say you were enjoying
Then just
your
disappears.
coffee. Maybe you
Then he
take a
just
drink from an
disappears.
imaginary cup.
Who are you and why do you
I love that they're watching Family Guy in the background, I think, or it's American Dad. That's super strange. That's super strange. This is gonna be one of those videos that haunts me forever. That's so weird. And I know a lot of things can be done on camera now because of the technology that we have, but it's so hard. Like that's just the, wow, that show. I'm gonna forget the name of the show. Anyway, insert sci-fi show name here. That is what that is.
These two complete strangers stood next to each other utterly randomly, yet both seem to have the exact same legs. It's not just the color and design of the pants, though that certainly helps, but everything about their legs seems to sync up. If you were to only look at the bottom half of this photo, you'd probably think that there had just been a computer error and each half of the photo was identical, and yet the top half of each woman is individual.
I just love the narration sometimes, and I know that's kind of ironic considering that's what I do now for a living, but this would freak me out. Like, I've never actually shown to a party and had the same outfit as someone, which is kind of cool, I guess. Being a jeans and t-shirt kind of gal. That should happen more often than it does. Anyway, whatever. That would freak me out. That's super, super cool. But I hope this was a wonderful moment for the two women in this video. I hope they were like, oh my god, girl, I didn't know. I thought I was the only one, as opposed to like the mean reaction, which is like, you can't wear those pants. I'm wearing those pants. Which happened in middle school all the time. Anyways.
There's an argument to be had that it's just pressurized air pushing against the manhole cover, making it bounce around. But that would have to be some seriously pressurized air to push something that heavy up and down. More pressure than a kid in the midst of their SATs. That's how much pressure we're talking. It's so lively, so free. It's almost as if the manhole cover has the mind of a puppy.
It's so lively, so free. Wow, amazing. That's hilarious. I love how he compares that to a kid going through the SATs. That's kind of the cherry on top for me. I kind of believe it. I don't know what happens in gutters. My mind's not in the gutter. I don't know, that could have been an alligator. I hope it wasn't an alligator, but it could have been just a really bad plumbing backup.
Yo, this bird is stuck in midair, bro. This bird is trying to fly, but it's stuck. Oh, the bird got stuck in time. Look, no lie, bro. What the
Dude, the wind must be so strong. That's actually what I blame that on. That's not necessarily a glitch, I think. That's just like, the bird has hit a wind draft that's just so strong that has finally just equated the bird's strength itself. Like, it can't actually fly through it. You just gotta land and chill out for a minute because there's no way. That poor thing, how tiring would that be? That's like somebody, like, that's like one of those infinity pools, but for birds. Oh, that's loud.
Look at it, for real. It looks like it's just kind of hovering there. Stop on the side of the road so you can see. It's really moving. That is crazy.
Huh. See, that's not quite like the bird because it looked like the bird was in a storm, but this guy's got clear, beautiful skies. And unless it was some kind of optical illusion of the car kind of circling around the area, which is kind of what it looks like it does. It could be that, but that's really odd. That's so strange. Ugh, I mean, the fact that planes can even fly is a miracle to me. It's a science thing, I know, but it's incredible that they can. Like these massive, like 14-ton things, even larger than that, I'm not actually sure. But that one was weird. What do you guys think?
A dash camera captures something really strange in the middle of the street. While it's raining outside, we see the car positioned vertically, standing on its end. And it's quite bizarre, it's just really strange. Is this car defying gravity? Or is there a reasonable explanation why the car is positioned this way?
I was like, well, it's raining, pouring. There's a dramatic, like I feel like he's about to narrate a film noir and it's about a car balancing on a crash. I wonder, for some miraculous reason, they have something really, really heavy in the back of the car, and when it kind of tilted back, it counteracted the weight of the end. So that's why it's balancing like that. Maybe. Or it's a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know. If all else fails, it's the Matrix.
On a CCTV camera, we see two men that look like complete strangers. Both wipe their face at the same time while in a similar stance.
Одновременно сейчас.
It does make you wonder whether we are all just actually in a massive computer game being run by aliens in space and they're just having a wonderful time, bringing us slowly into awareness until one day we all realize that this is in fact the Matrix and the movie was right.
A car is driving down a snowy road. It's pretty extreme weather, nice and Christmassy, but otherwise nothing out of the ordinary here. But these glitches seem to come when we least expect them. Slowly but surely the car appears to fade away. Slowly but surely it is consumed by the snowflakes and vanishes into thin air, gone without a trace.
Pretty sure it was still there, right? I'm gonna do that again. Oh yeah, I guess the one on the corner wasn't the car. I thought it was the first time I watched it. I thought it was that one. That's so weird. I mean, driving in the winter in Canada is not fun, and it's the worst when you're like driving and you can't see the road because it's just so snowing so fast. There are some people that just drive on the highway during extreme weather and they drive like it's a Sunday and it's gorgeous outside, and I have no idea how they do it. And I have a feeling that that gust of snow that just flurried up before the car disappeared was actually the car just going like, you know, they just decided to, Jesus, take the wheel.
A criminal was desperate to race away from the police. His car is bolting down the highway at breakneck speeds. Will he get away? These are exciting scenes, but not exactly abnormal. It's what happens next that will have you doubting your entire concept of reality. Just in the nick of time, his car appears to mysteriously vanish in a puff of black smoke. It's as if Thanos clicked his fingers in the car and its driver turned into dust in an instant. It's any criminal's dream to be able to teleport away from the scene of the crime in a mere instant.
No way that's real. No way. That's really cool though if it is. But there's no way. That's gotta be like a deep fake internet thing. That's just way too cool and way too convenient. I also love the narration. We just talked about that for a second. He's like, it's so romantic, you know?
What the f is happening?
I've seen this video before and I've watched it so many times and I find it so creepy. Just people standing there. It's like somebody press pause, you know? And this goes back to the game theory. Like we're all just some game of Sims, aren't we? That's so freaky. That's so freaky. I hate that. That's like a horror film in the making. Ugh, gross. No, thank you. I know, I said it again. I wanted to say it again.
A fence at the end means no way out. Or does it?
What? What? That's so
Even
crazy.
again,
wait a minute.
Cops are unable to make sense of it. All they see is an intact fence and nothing more than the vanishing taillights, what the Garden City PD has come to call the ghost car.
That's so... That one was cool. That one was really cool. I don't know how to explain that. Obviously, I don't have all the answers to anything. I don't even have the answers to anything in my own life. But that was pretty cool. Because, okay, so at first I thought, when he turns off, I thought maybe he kind of found an exit and just went around. But then, they literally turn and it's right, that's super weird. That's so cool. That's definitely a glitch in the Matrix. Somebody's playing Grand Theft Auto and it's going real well for them, I guess. Wait. What? I don't understand that at all. My brain hurts. Oh God, it hurts. At first I thought it was because it was spinning so fast you saw the 5 separate blades, but they aren't. Usually you see kind of like almost a gray film in between each one if it's going that fast, but it starts to move at 26 seconds in. I don't get that. That's so weird. I'm not gonna be the same person after that. That's really cool. I hope I want someone to slow this video down. Or speed it up or slow it down as far as you possibly can just to see if there is any movement, and then we can debunk that theory, and then this video is just weird. But I also don't want that to be debunked because then, you know what I mean?
Coming in number 10, we have the Lonnie Zamora incident. There are a lot of different ways you could see a glitch in the Matrix. Sometimes it could be someone frozen in place that seems like they just glitched out. Other times it could be something like a person or object vanishing from existence, but other times it could be the people who are running the simulation coming down to do some repairs. That could have been what happened here. The Lonnie Zamora incident happened in 1964, and it was when Lonnie was on patrol. He was chasing down a perp out in an open field, and then he saw a bright light coming from the middle of the field. This was so distracting that the perp was able to slip away. Lonnie thought it could have been a fire or an explosion, maybe an oil line caught aflame. So Lonnie went down to go check out what was going on, and he came across something that would change his life forever. He saw some sort of egg-shaped device. It was about the size of a car, and it stood on 3 legs. It was like a massive Fabergé egg that was being held up. His first thought was that this must be some sort of aircraft that the military was testing, and then he saw something even more suspicious. He saw little gray men running towards the ship. Now, was this one of the earliest UFO sightings, or was this a glitch in the Matrix that had to be repaired in person by beings who are running this so-called simulation? Or was the whole thing just a hallucination from a gas leak? And guys, remember to hit that like button because it really helps us out. Coming in at number 9, we have no bullet holes. A police officer on Reddit recounted a story about a time they were in a shootout with a perp. They had tracked down a person to a home in South Florida, and when they approached the building, someone started firing at them. They quickly took cover, and now they were in a standoff with this person. They fired some shots back, and by the time backup arrived, everything had stopped. They went to search the property to find the perp, but he was nowhere to be found. But that was just where the story starts getting weird. After something like this happens, a whole team of people have to come in to document everything, and you have to check the surrounding area to make sure that everyone is okay and no one was hit by a stray bullet. But they searched everywhere and they couldn't find a single bullet hole. Yet several shots were fired. The officer writing this Reddit post said he emptied the clip on his gun directly at the home where the gunshots were coming from, and there was still nothing. There was no way that he could have been that bad of a shot, and there would have been some evidence of bullet holes in the surrounding area. Coming at number 8, we have the Pali Lookout encounter. In Honolulu, there's a pretty famous location called the Pali Lookout. This spot has been known for its paranormal activity. Now, this next story comes from an officer from the Honolulu Police Department, and I want you guys to hit the comment section and let me know if you think this has to do with a ghostly encounter or a glitch in the Matrix, and if they could be one and the same. An officer was moving through the Pali Lookout late at night. There were several gates that the officer had to drive through so they could lock up each one of them. While doing this officer saw a woman walking on the side of the road. Our officer pulled up next to the woman to find out if she was okay. Turns out she wasn't who she thought she was, because the woman vanished and then was all of a sudden in the back seat of the car. It was like she just popped into existence inside the car. The officer stayed calm and kept driving and started talking to this ghostly woman, but she said nothing. Eventually the woman just vanished. Now, this might have been a ghost or an NPC that was so poorly programmed she couldn't even complete what she was supposed to do. For all we know, that ghost woman had an awesome side mission that our officer never got to play out. Next on the list, we have a chase ends before it starts. An officer told a story about a time they came to a house with a warrant to search it. The front door was unlocked, and right when the officer came in, they saw the only person who was in the home bolt. They were making a run for it. This person ran upstairs and then jumped out one of the windows. The officer ran towards the window, but the other officers outside the home didn't see anyone exit the window. Where did this dude go? There was no body found. It was like he just leaped out of the window and then disappeared into thin air. Maybe this dude had one of those GTA hacks that lower your star rating. He put that in as he jumped through the window, landed on the ground safely, and then the cops couldn't even see him. Man, I hope real life gets some cheat codes because I want to start upgrading my life a little bit faster. Next on the list, guys, we have the police van glitch. Kotaku covered a story about a very strange thing happening to some police in China. These cops were driving back after a long day, and something went terribly wrong. It would seem that they glitched their van in between 2 buildings. Let me show you. Now, I don't know how something like that happens. If you were to to dig up the official report, they said it was just bad driving, even though it looks like a glitch pulled right out of a video game. This looks like something you could pull off in one of the older Halo games. I just remember there was a glitch where you could make the Scorpion tank fly. So this could have been just a horrible mistake. When you see some of the other photos related to the crash, you can see that they went through a concrete curb and some metal railing. So it wasn't like their car just popped into that spot out of nowhere, but it seems awfully strange that it just got stuck there like that. Maybe everything in China is just made that much sturdier. They send us all the cheap stuff and they keep the unbreakable cars and buildings for themselves. Next on the list, guys, we have missing evidence. Now, missing evidence happens all the time. I've heard quite a few stories of police officers taking stuff from evidence lockers. Usually it's some sort of drug, because at the end of the day, it's even hard for cops to say no to free drugs. But this story is a little strange if you ask me. A man was able to walk free when the drugs that were on his person just disappeared. The wild thing was that there was a camera on the evidence locker the entire time. There was footage of someone putting the illegal substance into the locker, but no footage of anyone taking them out. So this left everyone scratching their heads as to how something like this could just disappear out of thin air. Next on the list, guys, we have don't shoot the hurricane. Here's the thing. No one's going to tell Florida what to do. And even though I'm Canadian, so that makes me very far removed from Florida in terms of geography, I still love the vibe that they got going on down there. It's all chaos and sunshine, and that is an amazing combination. People get up to some crazy things when they never have to stay inside, and alligators are more common than teeth. And when Hurricane Irma was coming through and about to make contact with Florida, the Florida police had to issue a statement telling people not to shoot the hurricane because it was actually very dangerous. The bullets can get swung around and actually come flying back at the public. Now, was this a glitch in the system? Was this some faulty wiring that caused these people to do something hilarious and insane? Or is this just how Florida rolls? They'll shoot a hurricane any day of the week and they don't care at all. Next on the list, guys, we have floating cars. Police in China saw something very strange on their security footage. It looked something pulled right out of an X-Men movie. Doesn't that look like Magneto just lifted those cars with the power of his mind? Now, we all know that the master of magnetism isn't real, so how did something like this happen? Two cars just fly up out of nowhere. I don't think that was caused by the wind. Unless there's some sort of experimental weapon testing going on, I have no idea how to explain what just happened. But I also know nothing about the universe or magnets or any of those things. And frankly, a lot of the stuff that we call glitches could just be explained in 100 years. Really, simulation theory is just like how people would blame things on witchcraft 200 years ago. It just has a modern twist on it. All right, guys, coming at the number 2 spot, we have the visions. An officer talked about a time that he had intuition like none other. He said that he had a dream one night that felt like real life. And in his dream, he was shot and killed by someone who he was questioning on the street. He woke up and felt a little shook, but he was okay. Then that day at work, he started to see his day play out the same as his dream. Then he saw the same guy in his dream that shot him. There was a robbery called in the area, and he knew that if he went up and questioned this person, they would have killed him, so he just kept on driving. He doesn't know why he had visions about that day. Maybe he hacked into the Matrix and was able to see into his future. And coming in at the number 1 spot, we have the ghost car. This is probably the most famous moment of police encountering a glitch that I have ever seen. I've seen this footage again and again. The first time I saw it, I was a kid watching it on TV. See, before YouTube, you had to wait for your glitches in the Matrix compilations to come on at 5 o'clock. Now, this footage I'm about to show you is from a police chasing down a car that had been swerving all over the road, and even at one point it vanishes. The police manage to catch back up with the perp, and he decides to defy the law of physics and get away from them. Somehow that car was able to move right through a solid object and then drive off into the desert and escape the police. Now, is this indeed a ghost car? I didn't know that you could bring your whole whip with you into the afterlife. I hope that I have a very nice car at the time of my death, because I don't want to be stuck in purgatory with a Toyota Corolla. But this could have been a glitch. The driver of this car was tapped into the Matrix and then just wanted to mess around with the police for a little bit. He thought driving right through a solid object would give them a spook, and it definitely did. I would like to meet the guy who pulled off this stunt so he can show me all of his power.